All right, let's get into this really cool story about a Swedish cartoonist named Asa. She packs up her life and moves all the way to Japan, and through all these small everyday discoveries, she ends up uncovering this really profound cultural philosophy. For Asa, it all started with a single moment. When she was just 13 years old, she saw Japanese animation for the first time. The art, the stories, but especially these powerful female characters. It just sparked something inside her, and honestly, it set her on a whole new path in life. And that little spark? Well, it wasn't just a phase. It totally grew into this full-blown dream. The idea of Japan, which she once only knew from stories of samurai and geisha, became this personal goal. So in 2011, she did it. She made the dream a reality and moved to Japan to kickstart her career as a cartoonist. So once she's living in a new country, every single day brings a fresh perspective, right? She started documenting all these little cultural moments, the funny mistakes, the surprising insights, in her cartoon, which basically gives all of us a window into her experience. So what kind of discoveries are even talking about here? Well, let's start with something you'd find in any convenience store in Japan, the classic race ball. Asa absolutely loved them, but when she first tried to unwrap one, let's just say it was a bit of a challenge. And then she discovered the secret. There's this super simple 3-step process that perfectly separates the plastic wrap from the seaweed, keeping it all crispy and fresh. And she was just delighted. It was so simple, so convenient, and so, well, thoughtful. And this wasn't just a one-off thing. She started noticing these little details everywhere, like take cup noodles. She was amazed to find a tiny sticker on the bottom of the cup, put there specifically to hold the paper lid down while the noodles cook. So clever. And all these little things led her to one big conclusion. She felt like every single Japanese product was designed with this subtle, almost unnoticeable kindness for the person using it. Okay, but this is where the story takes a little bit of a turn. Ace's appreciation for all this Japanese thoughtfulness was about to be tested. She had an experience that made her wonder if kindness and all that attention to detail can actually go too far. So it all went down at a department store. She bought a small gift, and it was wrapped beautifully, put in a fancy bag, but then they gave her a second spare bag, just in case. And that was the moment where she kind of stopped and thought, is this kindness, or is it maybe just a little too much? You know how sometimes one small thing makes everything else just click into place? Well, for her, this one instance of overwrapping suddenly connected with a much larger pattern she'd been noticing in Japan, the tendency to overwork. The two ideas felt deeply connected, just an excess of effort, whether it was on a gift or on the job. And that really brought a huge cultural contrast into focus for her. In Japan, she often got the feeling that people were living to work. And that was the complete opposite of her Swedish background, where the whole philosophy is that you work in order to live a life outside your job. This idea perfectly sums up the Swedish mindset. Balance is absolutely everything. And the logic is really simple. A good thing, like running, is healthy for you in moderation. But if you overdo it, it becomes harmful. They believe that exact same principle applies to work. And there's a special word for this whole concept, a word Asa really wanted to share. It's lagom. Now, this doesn't mean perfect, and it doesn't mean average. It means just the right amount. It's that sweet spot right between having too much and not having enough. And the beauty of lagom is that you can apply it to everything. You can have a lagom amount of work. The weather can be lagom, not too hot, not too cold. It's a guiding principle for finding contentment and balance in pretty much all aspects of life. So this is Asa's gentle advice, something she learned from her experiences in Japan. It's a reminder that by seeking, quote, just the right amount, not by constantly striving for more and more, we can actually find a sustainable sense of well-being. So that really leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? From gift wrap to our work ethic, this idea of just enough can be such a powerful lens. It really makes you wonder, in a world that often pushes for more, what would happen if we all just aimed for a little more lagom instead?